Hey, RetconRaider here. Today's video is dedicated to Ash and mildly nuclear. Thanks for your support, guys. That said, let's get started. And welcome back to the Wasteland 3 beta, as we continue wading our way through this corpse-strewn nightmare factory that the Patriarch was kind enough to provide us with. That said, we've got a room full of rotting corpses here, so, I guess we should start digging through them.
What a stink. Somebody's been using this medbay for a morgue, gonna take an ocean of bleach to get it ready for customers.
Quan, I feel like that's not the first thing to say upon discovering a pile of corpses, but what do I know? I'm not a marshal. This leathery corpse is missing several of his digits and facial features. Looks like exposure to extreme cold took this person's missing extremities. Scarring indicates that this may have happened multiple times, over several years. But it wasn't the cold that killed him. Open wounds across his back indicate that he was whipped to death. Also, the corpse's ankles and wrists have some scarring, as if he had been chained up for a while. Yeah, I think we can guess what happened here. This desiccated husk of a man is little more than a skeleton covered in papery skin. Looks like a simple case of starvation and dehydration, but you notice the same scarring on his ankles and wrists as on the other corpses, most likely from manacles. The torn skin suggests that they were frequently moved. This female corpse is bloated and putrefied. One of her arms is entirely missing. Black ichor oozes from her swollen torso. Looks like the missing arm had nothing to do with the woman's demise. It had been expertly removed and stitched up long before she died. Instead, she seems to have died of an infection or illness. You notice the same scarring on her ankles and wrists as on the other corpses. Interesting. Looks like there's more than meets the eye on this one. Let's have a look at our character sheet real quick. Oh, well, we could afford it, but that would eat all of our remaining points. We are pretty close to level 4, though. Let's hold off for now. There is a pile of corpses in this corner. These people died in a variety of ways, most of them violent. Bullet holes in one, a crushed skull on another, a cut throat on a third. They all have the same scarring on their ankles and wrists as the other corpses. Looks like these people were trafficked by slavers. Yeah, sounds about right. Slaver's note. You found this note under a body in Ranger headquarters. It is heavily creased and stained with the blood of its previous owner. Rush order from ST. Drop whatever you're doing and round up 6, late 10, early 20, preferably F. And most importantly, in good health. The last batch we sold him didn't last a week. If we disappoint him again, there will be consequences. Colorado Springs is awash in refugees right now. I'd start hunting there. The marshals won't care if a few go missing. There are probably more than a few families that will gladly hand over a daughter if it means one less mouth to feed. Once you've got all 6, take them straight to the track. ST will pick the best 4, and then you can bring the others back. I should have a buyer for them by the end of the day. LP. Not sure we can actually do anything with this in the current beta, but we will keep an eye out for anyone with matching initials. The mention of a track is interesting. Given the violent demise on several of these slaves, we could be looking at some sort of death sport. Anyway, let's check out the basement. Well, we've definitely got stuff back there, but we can't actually see what it is. The door guarding this vault is enormous and recessed into the walls, floors, and ceiling. It appears that it can only be opened with that numeric keypad on the wall, several feet away. Okay, might as well give it a shot. You start pressing buttons, but you don't even know how many numbers there are in the sequence. Every time you press enter, the display clears, and the door shows no signs of moving. Well, we tried. I will say, it's a little disconcerting to have this secret room beneath our new headquarters. The Rangers have some pretty bad experiences with that sort of thing. At any rate, I think we're pretty much done over here, so let's go have a chat with that prisoner. Hello there. Let's do a quick lap around the room. Alright, there's our key. We'll leave that alone for now. Let's see what this guy has to say. Waving at you through the bars of a cell is a pale, rail-thin man with matted hair and fraying, faded clothes. He gives you a lazy, glassy-eyed grin.
Hey, dudes. Hi. Well, what's up? Haven't seen you before. Have I?
We're the Rangers. This is going to be our new headquarters.
Rangers, huh? Cool, man. Cool. I like your look. I think I had a shirt like that once, a long time ago. Long time ago. Headquarters for what?
The Rangers help people. We're here to help Colorado.
That's cool. Helping's good. I like helping. Are there, like, more of you here?
Well, we have found some new recruits from the area, and more are joining soon.
Oh, hey, man, that's good. That's good, man. More, people, hanging out. Cool, man, cool. So, hey, what?
We've actually got a couple of questions for you, if you don't mind.
Oh, yeah, man, of course. I don't mind. Ask me whatever.
What's your name?
My name? Ned. Ned? Harry. Nick. Booger. Dickens. Lyle? I don't know.
Well said.
Something like that. Honestly, I don't, remember. Been a long time since I thought about that, man. Been a longer time since someone, asked me about it. I kinda been here for a while.
How long have you been here?
Couldn't tell you, man. Couldn't tell you. Like, there's no windows or clocks in here, Hard to keep track of when the day starts or ends. Anyway, a long time. Long enough for other groups, other people to come and go.
How have you survived?
Man, I got everything I need in here to keep on. Little crack in the ceiling over there drips some water. So I just gotta lick the wall when I'm thirsty. And, you know what they say about dark, damp spaces, man? Mushroom grow there, man. So I added a little self-made fertilizer. Those mushrooms are growing good.
You've been living off of wall water and mushrooms?
Yeah, man, yeah. Yum, yum. Oh, yeah, and bugs, when they come by. Buzzy crunchers and climby snappers and skittery two-bites and running gushers. Sometimes roly poppers and hoppy specks. Once a squirmy slurp. That was a good day, man.
Lovely.
But yeah, mainly mushrooms.
Well, I suppose that might explain his behavior. Can you tell us about the groups that lived here before us?
Yeah, sure, maybe. Sometimes, like, a guy might come in, but I don't know if he was connected to the guy who came in before him, Kinda hard to keep track of how long it is between visits. And people don't always tell me what's going on outside. But, let me see. Last guy who came in to see me was the dead guy. Before him, Tired Eyes Lady. Before her, the Smiling Woman. Before that, it's a little fuzzy.
Yeah, tell us about the dead guy.
Oh man, that's some wild stuff. So a while ago, that dead guy over there came running in here all nervous and freaked out and starts messing with that computer machine over there. And yeah, then there's this big-ass flash of light from the computer machine and he falls down and then all these sirens and flashing lights. It was horrible, man. Like, it made it really hard to sleep, Then after a while, the alarm stopped, and then, you came in.
Okay. Tell us about the Tired Eyes Lady.
Well, she was a woman, dressed all raggedy, but, I'm one to talk on that. Anyway, she came in here looking sad. Eyes looked like she hadn't seen a good night's rest in years. We talked for a bit, and then she left again. Sometimes I think I can still hear her voice. Hope she didn't die and she's haunting me for some reason. Though, now that I think about it, I guess I'd be glad for the company, you know?
Right, so he's talking about Del Hackett. She's still right down the hall. Tell us about the smiling woman.
Oh, a real nice lady, man. Had a big old smile on her face the whole time we talked. Just never stopped smiling. I think she said she was a trader. Talked about how she had some merchandise to keep here and some people she was gonna deal with. Said I wasn't a suitable client, which, sure, 'cause I got no money. Well, actually, she said I wouldn't be suitable for her clients, which I thought was a weird way to say that.
And that would be the slaver. Yeah, that makes sense. What do you mean by a little fuzzy?
You know, man, it's, I've been here a long time, and I eat a lot of mushrooms. Can't always remember things that happened in the, olden days, but I'll try. There was a gentleman bear, the lip licker, and, the bloody screamers, and them metal fellers, and the really white guy, and owl face. Oh, and the 6 wee men and a lion. But, yeah, hard to remember who came in first, and, which ones were just a nursery rhyme my grandma told me, so... yeah...
Right. Thanks for that. We want to ask you about something else.
Yeah, okay. Cool.
Why are you in there?
Because, the cell door is locked.
That's not what we were asking. Why were you put in there?
Aw, man, didn't you like my joke?
Yeah, it was great.
Okay, so a guy I used to be friends with, well, I guess he was more of a business partner. Friend, though, too, man. Like, former friend who decided he didn't, want to go splitsies anymore, so he conked me on the head. And when I woke up, I was in here. Real bummer, man. Like, seriously.
Yeah, that is indeed a real bummer. You know what? Let's go check out that body before we say anything else to this guy.
Cool, man. But, hey, so, we've been chatting for a bit, gotten to know each other a little, right? I've been stuck in here for, at least a lot of years, and it would be much nicer if I, wasn't. Do you think you could maybe do me a solid and, find a way to get me out of here?
That is a fair question. We'll see what we can do. No promises.
Cool. I get it, man. No pressure, but, I'd sure appreciate it. So long.
The body of a young man lies twisted on the floor. He wears shabby clothes, and he's been dead long enough for the body to go cold, but not long enough to rot. Looks like we'll need to boost our first aid after all. The body's contorted limbs and proximity to an ancient computer suggest a painful death by electrocution. Electricity kills by stopping the heart, which looks like what happened. You don't see any entry or exit burns, though, but those are not always present in low-voltage electrocutions. This man was carrying nothing but the clothes he wore on his body, and those are tattered and grimy. His shoes have holes in their soles. In one of his pockets, you find a half-eaten, sweet-smelling mushroom. Interesting. You step away from the body.
What's going on with the dead guy? Is he, all right?
No, I'm pretty sure he's dead. Sweet-smelling mushroom. About half a mushroom, it has a syrupy sweet smell. Alright, let's go ahead and boost our first aid. Have another look at that body. Discoloration in the face suggests heart failure, which might be electricity, but there's a lack of burns, which makes that inconclusive. Some dried, foamy spittle, barely detectable at the edges of the mouth, make poison a much more likely culprit. Intriguing. Sounds like we might need another chat with that prisoner. This terminal displays information about the base's systems. You comb through the logs, culling ancient messages and routine system notifications, until you have a list of recent activations. OS. Wake initiated. Wake complete. Credentials rejected. Credentials accepted. Login admin. Password admin. OS. Loading default admin operations. Backup generators initialized. Automated security lockdown initiated. Login required. Credentials rejected. Credentials rejected. OS. Station locking out user due to multiple failed login attempts. Very interesting. Okay, so let's think this out. This is probably Andy, Del Hackett's missing friend. He came in here after the Patriarch's men started poking around, reactivated the base's backup generators. Then he dropped dead from poison, most likely the mushroom in his pocket, which he almost certainly got from the prisoner. But what's the prisoner's endgame here? I mean, he's still trapped in a cell.
Oh, hey, hi again. What can I do for you?
Why are you in there again?
I told you, man. My partner trapped me in here. Thought he was my friend, you know? But he wasn't.
Tell me again, what happened with this dead refugee?
Oh, didn't we talk about this already? So a while ago, that dead guy over there came running in here all nervous and freaked out and starts messing with that computer machine over there. And yeah, then there's this big-ass flash of light from the computer machine and he falls down and then all these sirens and flashing lights. Then after a while, the alarm stopped and then, well, you came in.
We found a half-eaten mushroom in the corpse's pocket.
Oh, yum. Mushrooms are the best, man. So many flavors. And they grow everywhere and grow easy. I love them. Who knew they were poisonous ones?
I didn't actually bring up poison, but now that you mentioned it... We've examined the corpse, and it doesn't appear to have been killed by electrocution. It looks like poison.
What? That's really something else. Some poison killed that poor guy at the exact same time as that machine zapped him? Man, what a wacky world.
Yeah, this guy totally did it. Then again, he might just be someone's patsy. Logs on the terminal show there was a power surge, like you said, but also several attempts to access the computer afterwards.
While those alarms were going off? How'd that happen?
We'll ask you again. Who was trying to access the computer after the power surge?
Well, that guy, he fell over onto the computer machine after the flash. Maybe he landed on the buttons, or on the thing with all the little buttons. Or, oh shit, man. Do you think someone snuck in here while I was sleeping and fiddled with those buttons? A prowler lurking about? That's some scary stuff, man. Yikes.
That's pretty far-fetched, but he did mention he was trying to sleep after the alarms went off. And, I don't know. This guy's the obvious culprit, but it just doesn't feel right.
Later, dudes, and don't forget to think about getting this door open if you get a chance. So long.
Okay, so maybe this guy is really just a sociopath. Maybe Andy's death was an accident. Or maybe someone who knew the prisoner was here is using him as a scapegoat to cover up Andy's death. I mean, if he's really been here for years, then someone could certainly plan around him. Maybe we should try eating the mushroom and see if it has any adverse side effects. Anyway, we don't actually have to resolve this right now. In fact, it might not even be something we can resolve in the current beta, but let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and we'll just move on for now.
People are people, and sometimes they need help. That's what the Rangers do, right? Help people?
We think we found your missing guy, Andy. Sorry to say, he's dead.
Andy. Damn it. I was afraid of that. We've been locked up for days, but at least we had our supplies with us. How did he... No, I don't want to know. Enough death in this world. Don't need the details to make it even more bitter. Thanks for telling me, Rangers. I'll break it to the others. Careful out there. It's an uncaring world.
I wish more folks were like you, Rangers. Sure was kind of you to let us stay.
Okay, I think that's just about everything, aside from the prisoner. And that locked computer log. Oh, we still have that corpse to investigate. This should actually bump us up to level 4. Tracing the course of the infection's path through the body, you spot a cybernetic implant embedded in her rotting chest. Looks like its poor installation was the cause of her fatal infection. Really now? Let's have a look at that. Oh, God. I really thought we were going to cut it out, but... You grit your teeth and pry the implant out. Her chest shatters when it finally rips free, spilling liquefied innards everywhere. Delightful. Okay, yeah, I guess that was it. Let's have a look at what we just found. Subdermal plating. Ballistic plates inserted beneath the skin provide protection against a broad range of weapons. The implants are only detectable upon close inspection. Requires cyborg tech. Armor plus 8. Wow. That is fascinating. In fact, it's listed as a utility item, which implies it goes in your trinket slot. But it also says it can't be removed, so you basically would have to give up your ability to use modular trinkets in exchange for an admittedly potent bonus. It's also intriguing that it lists cyborg tech as a prerequisite. That's not one of the skills or perks available during character creation, so that would seem to imply that there's one or possibly even more secret abilities that the player can discover during their travels. I'm curious to find out more about that. I suppose for now, though, it's just a really valuable piece of salvage. I guess the other question is, why a slave was implanted with something so expensive? Anyway, let's go check out those caches, and then I think we're ready to move on.
Rangers, good to see you. I'll be here.
Systems active. Greetings, Rangers.
Greetings to you too, Kodiak. Human bones and a moldy sock. I think we may have just dug up someone's grave. Casio watch. Gotta say, these caches are not wowing me. This is interesting. Looks like a guard tower. Nothing in it, though. Maybe after we restore the base. There's our zone transition. No world map in the beta, so we'll be headed towards the palace next. Aha, an armor crate. And a trap. Which is just beyond our current skill level. Okay, I guess we'll revisit that once we hit level 4. Cyborg chicken. Having a hard time clicking on this thing. Metal-plated electronics have been implanted in this chicken's body. It looks up at you, a sense of loneliness in its eyes. You don't see any other chickens around. Interesting. Might have something to do with that extreme chicken fight we read about. Ah, now that is more like it. Alloy barrel. Stronger than steel, this barrel can withstand higher chamber pressures. Damage +2. We've also got a bunch of doggos. And a bunch of high-end junk. No doggo. Well, once again, we'll have to see if we can eke out enough experience points for another level up. I'm actually starting to think we should have cranked our charisma scores. It's only about 300 experience points between each level, so that XP bonus would be pretty nice. Well, maybe for the full playthrough. For now, let's go get our first look at Colorado Springs. Huh. Gotta say, I was really expecting something a little less corpse-strewn.
How can you be dead?
How did those maniacs even get into the city?
Ah, right. This is right on the aftermath of a raid.
Please,
We'll have
my
our
son's not a
revenge.
Dorsey.
You ain't seen
Let
the
him
last
go.
of us!
You don't look like marshals. Do you work for the Patriarch?
We're the Rangers. We work for anyone who needs our help.
Then my boy needs your help. He's going to be executed. And they won't listen when I say he's no killer. Judge Watkins has sentenced my son to die. Austin is all I have left. Everyone else died on the plains. He's a good boy. He never hurt anyone. I'm sure of it. Please, maybe Watkins will listen to you.
What happened? Why was your son sentenced to death?
I don't even know why he was rounded up. He won't tell me. Says he's embarrassed. I know they caught him doing something wrong, but he says he never hurt anyone. If you talk to him, maybe he'll tell you what happened. Sometimes it's easier to talk to a stranger than your mother. I know that much.
Who's your son?
Austin Pease, the skinny boy up on the platform. I can't imagine he killed anyone. We've seen enough death on our way out here. He never wanted to hurt anyone, ever.
What's your story?
Our family escaped the wars in the East. Tried to make our way across the plains. My husband, my other son, my daughters, one by one, picked off and killed. Now it's just the two of us, and I'm gonna lose him too.
All right, we will see what we can do.
Please,
We'll have our
help my
revenge.
son.
You ain't seen the last of us.
No regret! No repentance!
I hope you die slow!
The teenage prisoner is gaunt and pale. His hair is tousled and greasy, his face angular with hunger. He stares at the pillories with dread, swallowing occasionally. He sees you staring at him and snaps back to reality.
Sorry, I didn't mean to ignore you. Just got a lot on my mind.
Yeah, I'll bet. How did you get in trouble with the marshals?
Made a real big mistake. See, the Plains gangs chased my mom and me off our land. We lost everything. Heard this was a place of God-fearing people and thought they'd do right by us. People here kept us out in the cold, letting us starve to death while they sat inside, warm and fed. Then the Dorseys came and gave me some food and some kindness and asked me to do some vandalism. Figured what was the harm? I never killed no one, but I did bust some windows. Marshals caught me doing it, and they said I was working with the Dorseys. Magistrate agreed, so here I am. Mom would have talked me out of it. Should have talked to her first.
Got a daring escape plan?
No, I was never no desperado. Don't rightly know why I let myself get caught up in this.
He swallows hard, his eyes on the pillories.
But if I'm to die, I'd at least like to do that right. I'm gonna do that like a man.
What's your sentence?
Magistrate tells me it's death. They're gonna strip me down, tie me to those things, and they're gonna let the cold do its work.
He shivers.
Wish I could tell you it won't, kid, but that'd be a lie.
Why'd you do it?
We were starving. No two ways about it. We were going to die. Dorseys gave us food. I figured a few windows was a worthwhile trade for the bread and meat that saved our lives.
Doesn't sound like the punishment fits the crime.
I thought it was too harsh, but what happens if I speak up now? If they come after my mom? I can't take the chance.
Let's say we can free you. What's that worth to you?
Magistrate's a hard man. I wish I could believe it'd work. I'd do anything for someone who could get me free without hurting anybody in the process. Guess I don't have any money to give you, but I'd pay you back in hard work, if you'll have me.
Do you have any useful skills?
I'm used to hard work around the homestead, and I ain't too bad with a gun either. My folks made sure I could hunt and fight. I always dreamed of coming to the big city and being a newspaper man. You know, interviewing people, telling the truth about how things really are. Sure didn't turn out like I hoped.
He shakes his head. Well, we'll go have a chat with the magistrate.
No regret, no repentance.
We'll have our revenge. You ain't seen the last of us.
Might need to boost our skills for this one.
Death to Buchanan! Death to the 100 stinking families!
Actually, Marshal Quann's got 3 in persuasion, so let's see if that works.
Hey, Rangers! How'd you like that welcome party at the lake?
This dour man looks out at the pillories with an expression of grim satisfaction. His sallow skin pulls tight over his face, and his thin lips press together in a hard line.
Howdy, Judge. How's your heart? Still colder than a well-digger's ass?
Marshal Quan, impertinent as ever, I see. Rangers, I am Magistrate Silas Watkins. I have heard of your arrival, partly from the confessions of the Dorsey Raiders. You'll be pleased to know that I sentenced them to death for their part in the attack on the city and your convoy.
What's with the pillories?
They are the only instrument of justice we need. Serious offenders die by exposure. Sometimes I might grant a reprieve after frostbiters claim their extremities.
Gross. Death by exposure seems harsh.
Oh, to the contrary. It is more merciful than the punishments meted out by the mountain clans or the gangs of the plains. If we did any less, they would see our nation as weak. And in Colorado, weakness is death. As much as we might long for the world before the bombs, when justice was not so cruel, that is not the world we inhabit.
And let's be honest, Judge. You kinda like it too, don't you?
No, I do not. I only do what the law commands.
And since you're the law around here, I guess you're your own boss.
I follow principles set forth at the second founding of this city, as you know very well. Without our laws and the penalties to enforce them, we're no better than the Wastelanders.
You have no other punishments here.
For some offenses, we have a work camp on the plains. I don't approve of their methods, but it's outside my jurisdiction. Minor infractions, like public drunkenness or disorderly conduct, are punished by a short stay in the sheriff's lockup.
He gestures towards the building behind him. Let's talk about something else.
Proceed.
Austin Pease says he didn't kill anyone. What will it take to free him?
His crimes are still severe. He was part of the Dorsey uprising. He caused significant property damage. His actions diverted marshals from responding to reports of attacks, magnifying the harm the Dorseys were able to inflict. Argue a case, and I might show lenience.
Looks like we're 1 point short. It's possible that some of these other arguments might actually work, but let's play it safe. We'll back out and boost our skill. We'll be right back.
Indeed. Rangers, what brings you here? As I said, you can argue his case. Convince me to set him free, and I will do so.
He took the job only because he was starving. True justice would free him and let him work to redeem himself for his minor infractions.
I am not certain you truly understand the Patriarch's justice, but your words ring true. Perhaps death is too severe a punishment.
He thinks a moment, tapping his lips.
This is irregular, but it is within my powers to grant you full custody of Austin Peace. Any further infractions he may commit are the Ranger's responsibility. I would recommend keeping him out of trouble. You should inform the boy. Best he hears the good news from you.
We'll have our revenge. You ain't seen the last of us.
Still here. Not looking forward to what comes next.
We talked to the magistrate. He says he'll release you, but you'll be working for us now.
What? Are you serious? You really saved my life and I get to be a ranger? Soon as they let me free, I'm going straight to your headquarters. I'll do whatever you need me to do. Clean guns, scrub toilets, you name it. Thank you, thank you.
Happy to help.
Nelius Dorsey lives. He'll kill you all.
You Rangers are heroes. I'm gonna tell everyone what you did for my son. Thank you.
We'll have our
Thank you.
revenge. You ain't seen the last of us.
Wow, looks like we've actually still got a fair amount ahead of us. Alright folks, we're past the 50-minute mark, and I think we've actually made a fair amount of progress. I think we've got about 2 more episodes worth of content before we hit the end of the beta, so let's hit the pause button for now. You guys let me know what you think I should do with that prisoner, and we'll pick up here next time as we continue exploring Colorado Springs, meet with the sheriff, and possibly tie up a few more loose ends back at our base. See you then. Oh, and remember, although I do love playing Wasteland 3, you can find out more about the game by visiting the official website, the official YouTube channel, the fan-run Discord server, the official Facebook page, the official Twitter feed, or the original crowdfunding campaign over on Fig. Links are in the description.